Joining us now in a first on CNBC interview here in person. What a treat at the New York Stock Exchange. Zoetis CEO Kristen Peck. Great to see you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to actually be here in studio finally.
Agree. So let's talk about your results. There was some concern going in that the whole pet adoption craze that happened during the pandemic would peter out and people wouldn't be so focused at home and spending on their pets. Is that just not what you're seeing?
No, I think if you look at our results for the quarter, we had 22% top line growth. But if you look at the companion animal business, it grew 36%. And I think what we're really learning is that, there are more people adopting pets. They're spending more time with their pets. But really importantly, they're spending more on them because of who's adopting them. A lot of these new adoptions are millennials and Gen Z, and they tend to spend more on those pets. So we really think that these trends you're seeing in companion animal are really durable and will be sustainable in the years to come.
So people spend as much on their pets, say, a few years after they buy them versus right up front?
Honestly, they generally tend to spend more as the pets get older. Pets, similar to humans, probably have more health issues as they age. So we really see this as a very sustainable trend over time.
I wanted to ask a question about vaccinations against corona and other things, but particularly COVID-19 for animals, and whether that's a necessity, whether it's something that's worth exploring. Well, what stage are we at for that?
Sure. About a year ago, you probably heard about the first dog getting infected. And at Zoetis, we mobilized very quickly to make sure we had a diagnostic and began a vaccine program. Since then, we've really seen there really isn't a great need for a vaccine for dogs and cats. But as you probably have read, there is a need for a vaccine right now for many zoo animals. And we did work with the USDA to get an emergency use authorization. And we have been donating to 70 zoos around the United States, over 11,000 doses of COVID vaccines for everything from tigers to apes to many other species. So we'll continue to monitor the situation. But to date, we have not seen a real commercial need for a vaccine for dogs or for cats.
Have we seen COVID hit those kind of zoo animals? High-risk zoo animals hard in a way that we see with humans?
We started seeing it a number of months ago. You had some cases actually at the Bronx Zoo, also at the San Diego Zoo. So 70 zoos around the country have really focused on species where they think there is a risk for COVID amongst them.
What about the outlook for the other part of the business, the livestock part of the business, which is always a good gauge on consumption and demand?
So in the quarter, we had about 3% growth, which was in line with our expectations. The livestock industry sort of had back-to-back pandemics. There was the African swine fever outbreak in 2019 in China, and then certainly COVID really hit livestock hard as dine out really declined, significantly. I think as we look at this year, we expect to grow sort of at or below the market, mostly because we have some losses of exclusivity on some products such as Draxxin. But we're really, we're right now delivering at expectations exactly what we expected for livestock for the year. We think livestock longer term, as we've talked about before on the show, will go back to more of that 4% growth.
Kristen Peck, great to check in with you. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.
CEO of Zoetis.